Guten Tag. Ni hao. Konnichiwa. Bonjour, comment t'appelles-tu? Je m'appelle Halle Galtel. Any Germans? Und Heinzig und Hell Adlerschweif. No? I'd like to welcome you all to the First Nation Power Authority opening, relaxing time of hearing some beautiful Northern Cree singing tonight. It's not the actual round dance ceremony because they're normally held during the winter months. And there's always cultural police, you know, especially on social media that will question, you know, round dance. So I just clarify that it's not a round dance ceremony. We're here to listen to our host drum that we're honored to have with us. And I just want to welcome you all to my home nation here in Tsuut'ina. This is one of the, well, it is the largest field house in Western Canada here at the Seven Chiefs Sportsplex. And the Seven Chiefs Sportsplex is a reflection of chiefs up until Gordon Crowchild. Clifford Big Plume. And when it was opened back in '76, we had 7 chiefs render chiefmanship for us in our history. The chief before our head chief, Chilla, Bullhead, his name was Little Drum. And he was in a mortal battle against the Crees, the Northern Crees. And he got mortally wounded. So he told his brother Chilla, Bullhead, he gave him his gun. And he said, "You're chief now. I'll use what I have left of my power, and I'll try to get a diversion going for you for a good retreat." So he starts singing his death song. And out of the North Saskatchewan River, and this is where the battle took place, a fog rose and covered the battlefield, and our Tsuut'ina War Party was able to escape. So years later, we had an exchange with the Crees. The Blackfoots, the Tsuut'ina went up with the Crees in a place called Wetaskiwin, Peace Hills. And this is where we did an exchange of women that we stole off each other and gave each other coups and acknowledgements and transferred certain names. And it was at that time that they were praising Little Chief. And Bullhead stood almost 7 feet tall. And he said, "Don't be talking about my brother." He didn't know him. And they said, "Oh, you don't believe us. When we found your brother," this is his song he was singing. And he started recanting Little Chief's death song. And they said, because he had one eye, he had a tear come out of his good eye. And he knew that they were accurate and they were telling the truth. And they said, "We respected him so much that we put him on a blanket and we crossed his arms and we left his weapons there to honor him." He was a powerful chief, they said. So this is how he became our head chief and was the signatory of Treaty 7 on September 22nd, 1877. 60 miles east of here, a place called Blackfoot Crossing. So our Tsuut'ina are part of the Dene language group. In Canada, there's 634 First Nations, and we all belong to one of 11 language groups. And our language group is Dene. We're actually the most populous indigenous people in North America. And we have the most casinos. So our migration started during the thaw of the Ice Age, about 12,000 years ago. And our language comes from South America, known as the Aztec. It's a very old dialect of the Aztec language, our Dene language. And as the ice melted, our people congregated to where they're most populous in our Dene population is the Navajo. So the south states of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah. And of course the Apache that reside in that southern area as well. So as the ice melted along the west coast, we followed the melt and settled in California, Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, Alaska. And there was a land bridge that we crossed over into Russia. But as the water had risen from the ice melt, it basically filled in that land bridge and trapped our people in Russia today, known as the Ket, Dene. And we've been trying to get a meeting with them to interpret language, oral stories, creation stories. But Putin doesn't allow us access to the Dene there. I guess he doesn't want to deal with land claims. So the next ice melt and migration happened in northern Canada, what they call the Great Mackenzie River Valley. So we settled in northern British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, little part of Ontario, Northwest Territories, and the Yukon. And we were actually a part of the Fort St. John Dene, which is located on the border of Alberta and British Columbia today. And we separated from them, and we came into the southern Alberta territory, known as the Blackfoot Confederacy territory. And their territory stretched from the North Saskatchewan River down to the Yellowstone River, which is now Montana, USA, from the Rocky Mountains to the Cypress Hills in Saskatchewan. But everyone had title to the Cypress, all nations, because that's the only place on the prairie where you'd find an abundance of pine tree, spruce tree. That was our lodge poles for our teepees. And when we came into their area, they taught us buffalo culture, teepee culture. And whoever invented the teepee must have been a genius because he made it circular. This way, his wife couldn't corner him. Just teasing. But we impressed upon the Blackfoot on our first meetings, and there was always skirmishes, there was wars. But one of our guerrilla warfare tactics was to peg ourselves to the ground. We'd put a peg, we'd tie a rawhide onto our ankles. And when the Blackfoot seen our resilience and our bravery and us not willing to run away from a battle, they were impressed with that. And we became allies. And they taught us teepee culture, the hunt of the buffalo. And we evolved and eventually signed Treaty 7 with them. So our original land was other side of Siksika Nation, in the area known as Bassano. That was our original reserve site. But Head Chief Chilla said, we have our own land, language, we got similar traditions, different customs from the Blackfoots, we want our land elsewhere. So he sent 2 scouts. He said, go southwest of Fort Calgary and look for an abundance of pine trees so that we can build log cabin, we can build settlement and tell government we're already building settlement. So the scouts' first location choice was along the Sheep River. And the elders at the time said, oh, beautiful area, but it really stinks. The land smells so bad, especially during the spring breakup. So they decided against having it there. And here what happened was along the Sheep River was the very first natural gas strike that put Canada on the world resource map. Dang, we missed out. That was that smell, that natural gas smell. So 2 boom towns came up, Black Diamond, Turner Valley. And it wasn't until the interpretation of treaty has always been, we only gave up the depth of a plow for settlers to cultivate land for agricultural use. That was our understanding of it. Anything below that, we never gave away. We never gave away the resources or anything like that. And it wasn't until the 1930s Natural Resource Transfer Act that government forced themselves to steal the wealth away from the First Nation people past 6 inches of the depth of a plow. So there was always that contentious issue of oil and gas resource development, and it really became more of an opportunity for us to protect the land and to make sure that industry doesn't really, take advantage, put us all in a position where Mother Earth has a fever. Mother Earth is sick. So when they have these type of initiatives, especially with the green energy, you're seeing a lot of First Nations taking more advantage of the green energy side. And because we're entrenched in the 1982 Constitution, Section 35, that guarantees us, and also the consultation of any oil and gas development or any resource development, mineral development, exploration, consultation has to take place. So these are opportunities for us to share our knowledge, to preserve our culture, to preserve our way of life, and move on to the point where we want to become financially sovereign. There is a very terrible experiment government did, and that was to make us dependent on them. And this horrible experiment is visible today with our high unemployment rate, high suicide, addictions, social issues. We were once a very proud people, and we want to get back to that. And of all places for real reconciliation action happened first here in Alberta, with the PC government to boot. The Premier, Jason Kenney, he realized that we need collateral to do business, and we don't have that. So he put up a $1 billion loan guarantee for resource development for First Nations. It's now been expanded to agriculture and communications, I believe, transportation, and now I just recently announced tourism. So we can get a loan up to $50 million out of this fund, and if it doesn't work out, this is where government will guarantee the loan. It was such a successful endeavor that the federal government last year in the budget put a $5 billion loan guarantee for First Nation Indigenous businesses. So they're seeing the need for us to be financially sovereign so that we can take care of our own damn problems and be proud again. So this is what we're going to be strategizing next 3 days here. We wanted to have a nice, relaxing evening of beautiful music from undeniably the top group in all the world, all of First Nation country, Northern Cree. They've been nominated 9 times for a Grammy. They've not, yeah, exactly. Twice for a Juno. But they can never get that Grammy. It's the artists themselves that select the Grammy winners. People like Justin Bieber, Madonna, 50 Cent. When 50 Cent comes to Canada, he's actually 54 cents because of the exchange. But anyways, it's the artists that don't know native music. They don't know Northern Cree. All they hear is maybe flute music or something like, instrumental, and they select that. So we need a better way of judging that Grammy for our Indigenous nations, drum groups, native drum groups. But they're gonna get it, I know that. And not one of them were at a Diddy party. They were invited, jokes. So the round dance beat is what they call the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And there's 2 types of beats. One is that northern, which we're gonna hear tonight, raz. They use the back of the fingers to raz the drum. Here in Tsuut'ina and Blackfoot country, we don't have that. It's just a straight double beat, heartbeat. So the round dance origin is very controversial because we have different nations that have different explanations. One I heard was that the ghost dance that was given to us by a spiritual leader by the name of Wuvaka. He was a Paiute spiritual leader, and he had this dance that was told will bring back the buffalo and get rid of the white people. So they start doing this dance, and The government banished it. It scared them. But this dance step in that ghost dance is similar to this round dance. And then I heard another story from my relatives in Saskatchewan, that they would have the round dance after the sun dance to bring healing to the dancers and to replenish nourishment and replenish their strength again. But universally, there's always a pipe ceremony at the actual ceremony of a round dance. This isn't a ceremony. We're just going to hear some good music. If you want to get up and dance, that's fine. But the pipe is what leads the ceremony. And the stick man will give sticks with tobacco to the lead singers to bring 4 healing songs into the center. And it's an extension of that pipe. Those sticks and that tobacco is an extension of that pipe to bring healing, especially to the family that's hosting a memorial round dance where a loved one is honored that had gone on. So when we hold hands and we walk sideways in the beat of the drum, we think of loved ones that need prayer. Anyone that needs a blessing, needs a doctoring, mental health issues, newborns, weddings, elders, the Kardashians, Zahaya. Whoever needs that healing, think of them as you're dancing. Bring some good energy to them through dancing in the circle. This is what we call the healing circle dance, round dance. So we're very honored to have Northern Cree be the drum group here. They'll bring in the procession of grand entry tomorrow and the grand exit on Thursday. And if there's anything that you want to learn, don't hesitate to ask. You know, something catches your eye, maybe a cultural event. Just like the tobacco that was gifted, Monique gave Marlon the tobacco. And that tobacco is how we pay for anything we receive from Mother Earth. So when we look at it, well, in our creation story, tobacco plant was the first plant gifted to Mother Earth. So whenever we harvest an animal or take medicine or food or ask for blessing prayers, that's how we pay for that request. And we'll put that tobacco on the ground, or they'll take it with them and use it in ceremony. But definitely this is the protocol, the proper way to start. So I'd like to say thank you to Monique for offering that tobacco right off the bat. That's the proper way to acknowledge the gift of the esophaguses of these singers. Hey, getting real technical now. So with that, I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Hal Eagletail. I'll be the host here for the next 3 days. I look forward to seeing you and networking with you. And like I said, we welcome you here. So with that, I believe we're ready to hear some awesome Northern Cree round dance songs. So I'll give it to the boys to rock this joint. Beautiful. You know, if you really want to oppress a native, when you see or hear something you like, you give that victory yell. You know, that, oh, oh, oh. Or that woman, they have a shrill, a lee, a la, 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 la. It was the European people that first introduced us to the clap. Oh, that didn't sound right. I mean, round of applause. Man, I just wrecked my big analogy here. I'm sorry. That round of applause is what I meant to say. There you go. Give them that victory yell. You really want to shine on a native. Indigenous, I should say, to be politically correct, because it involves Métis and Inuit as well. All right, they got their next song ready. Don't hesitate to come and dance. Man, oh man, that was a classic. You know, Northern Cree was also the very first drum group to ever sing live at the Grammys. And I think everyone in native country knows where exactly they were and where they were watching it, and how proud of a moment that was in our history and the accomplishments of these fine drum group. They have lady backup singers as well, so they're not just all the guys. They got lady backup singers that sing with them as well, so accolades to all of them. As part of our culture and part of our traditional way, we like to feed our visitors. When we feed, we give you another day on Mother Earth. And way back when sometimes things got tough, you know. Native people have a gene that no other race of people have. And this gene is activated during these times of starvation, times of low food intake, and the metabolism slows down. This gene, however, is going to erase itself out of our gene pool within about 2 generations, because we're not eating enough wild meat. And this is how we activate this gene. So when we kill the animal, we'll put the tobacco in front of its mouth and thank the animal for giving us its last breath ceremony. We go right to the kidneys, and you can eat the kidneys raw right after a kill. And that gave us a sustaining ability to wait for the curing of the meat. Usually we would smoke it and dry it. But this is something that we honored. Always feed the visitors. Give them another day on Mother Earth. So Monique and the crew are preparing a light snack for everyone here so that we can all have a beautiful munch. Hey. But we'll have 2 more songs from Northern Cree, and then we'll invite you to go and to grab some food after 2 more songs. We have to go in a 4-song sequence. One of our sacred numbers, number 4. You know, there's 4 directions, there's 4 seasons, and if you have 4 open numbers on your Bonanza card, that's pretty sacred. That's a good chance. But we'll have some more rock and round dance songs from Northern Cree. And welcome from Facebook Live and TikTok and all other social media platforms. We welcome you all. They're all watching us live here. So I wish I knew that, because I said some crazy things. Nah, I'm just teasing. I'm not shy. You know, a lot of our round dances. At the round dance during the winter months, they usually go, here in Alberta, they start about 7 and around 2. Saskatchewan, they start around 9 and around 4 or 5 in the morning. And at the end of the round dance, when it's coming to the last songs, there's a song called the Apple Dance. And it's so amazing how our ancestors knew that giving an apple to the visitors before their long, some people drive 6, 7 hours for round dance, to give them extra alertness. Apple scientifically has more alertness properties than coffee. And that's what I mean by how amazing our ancestors knew to give apples out to the visitors before they leave so that they're alert on their travels home. And a lot of times you'll see our ladies just dancing with their heads down. They're never looking around and being all, whatever. They're looking down in a respectful way. But I found out that they're actually looking at the singer's feet size, because Native women don't like men with big feet. It's just too much beadwork on the moccasins. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Trying to get some humor in there. Humor is one of our most powerful medicines, healing medicines. So we'll have one more song and then we'll have another beautiful meal here. And dance. Dance for your meal. Dance for the gift of life being offered here tonight.
Good one.
Beautiful. All right, let's have some food. Self-serve on the reserve. Go ahead and line up and just start eating. And we'll take a little break here on the live feed. We're on Facebook and YouTube Live right now. We're here in Tsuut'ina Nation for the First Nation Power Authority Conference. And this is just our warm-up night here. Yesterday they had the big golf tournament, huge, at the Redwood Meadows golf course owned by Tsuut'ina Nation. So, Bemit suk asna ich go and have some food, and then we'll come back with a final 4-song set from Northern Cree.
Are you gonna eat? Yeah. Going over a smoke. You wanna eat first?
Tsuut'ina. Welcome back. How about a big round of applause for Stephanie Many Wounds' beautiful catering. Oh my goodness, thank you for that delicious stew and option of baked or fried bread. Well, I'm just enjoying at this time little THC. You know, THC is always good for everybody, especially when it's my style. Tim Hortons coffee. That's my THC. Tim Hortons coffee. So when Northern Cree was asked to participate at the Grammy Awards, first time ever singing live, beautiful indigenous music that was shared to the world. Like I said, everyone knew where they were that day, where they were watching it. I was watching it live on my laptop at home. And then just the powerful emotion that the singers were emanating off that stage was overwhelming. I cried. It's a beautiful moment in our history that we all have to say thank you to Northern Cree for giving us that opportunity to see something so beautiful on such a world stage. So what they're going to do is they're going to sing that actual song that was performed on the Grammy stage. So let's welcome back Northern Cree rockin' that Grammy song. Start us off for a 4-song set.
Hey!
And with some good memories that brought back in that song. Thank you, Northern Cree. So tomorrow when we do our grand entry, we normally have a protocol of our dancers coming in, bringing in the Eagle staffs, flags if there's any, our veterans, our dancers, leading in the charge of our dignitaries. And when we procession in, we'll be listening to some beautiful Northern Cree style songs. So Northern Cree will be singing as host drum Saddle Lake, Alberta on the solstice, day of solstice on the 21st of this month. And I'll be actually emceeing that powwow, so I'm honored to be crossing tracks with such an esteemed group there. It's going to be a lively one. It's going to be a good one. Looking forward to that. So powwow season is upon us. They'll be traveling all extensively from now until September, late September, probably into October. The Cali run usually runs in October. And we'll definitely interpret the origins of the dancers' styles tomorrow. Just to educate. We're here to share culture. We're here to share the opportunity to understand where these origins dances come from. And a lot of them came from healing ceremonies. And it's going to be a beautiful sight, especially our relatives out east. They brought the woman's healing dress dance known as the jingle dress. And that's another beautiful story to that, how it all come about. So we'll share all that tomorrow before we get into our grand entry. So we're going to have 3 more songs, and then we're going to kind of wrap up the evening. And there'll be some food left out there. You're welcome to take extras home with you. Have a little munch tonight. So we always try to give away all that food to the visitors. Never leave them hungry. So don't be shy. Grab a couple of bowls and some bannock. Take it home with you. Take it back to your room, wherever you're staying tonight. So we got 3 more songs, and sometimes you'll feel a burn in your right calf. That's just being out of round dance shape. But if this is your first time dancing in a round dance, you've now just earned the right to kiss a native. Yeah, I'm just teasing. You know, people literally come and kiss me when I used to use that analogy. So I kind of had to slow down on that. All right, I think our singers got their next song. Let's get rockin'. Light 'em up, boys. Let's light 'em up. Northern Cree.
Hey!
That was a beautiful song. That was actually composed by this young gentleman here, Desmond McGuinness. Thank you, Desmond. He was inspired. He was telling me he was inspired by his woman when she got cows and plows. That's how the song come about. You're the only one with your cows and plows. Hey. Well, we got 2 more songs, so don't hesitate to dance. Just a beautiful evening of song and food, native style. This is how we gather and enjoy each other's company. And the song makers, our composers, are Mozarts of First Nation country. They get inspired through their travels, dreams, life experiences, visions. So it's a really great treat to hear the unique energy and thought process, how these songs come about. It's a great gift to be a song maker. And most of the singers here start singing at birth. Their first song was wah, wah, wah. Hey, real dry. Real dry one. Yeah, a little bit history of this building. It was about a $55 million building. And it come about from the ring road that went through our nation lands here back in 2017 when we had to vote on it. And we lost infrastructure, including our old Seven Chiefs Sportsplex, our Buffalo Run golf course, and our gas stop and old band office. All that infrastructure was lost due to the construction of the ring road. But what came from that was this facility and the continuation of the name Seven Chiefs. We actually took the ice plant out of the old Seven Chiefs arena and we put it in the outdoor rink. So the outdoor rink actually has an ice plant underneath it so that our kids can have a little bit longer opportunity to hone their skills in hockey. We have 2 rinks that are both NHL-sized rinks. And we also have the Calgary Hitmen come and do their warm-up preseason games here. I was even asked to commentate one time the games, and I put my own spin on things. I'm like, it's last minute of play in the first period. Let's light them up, boys. Let's light them up. Or 2 minutes for trying to snag the guy's woman. Hey. Just putting my own native style spin. All right, they got song number 3 ready to rock. Let's turn them on, turn them up, turn them loose. beautiful rocket song. All right. So tomorrow morning, they're going to start with the pipe ceremony. That'll start at 7 a.m. Pipe ceremony will be conducted here. And right at 8 o'clock, they're going to have breakfast served. They'll start the breakfast serving at 8. So you're all welcome to come on back here and have a beautiful meal. And for those watching us on the World Wide Web, anyone watching from Germany, don't be stealing these songs now in Germany. They got a real big native following in Germany, Indiano clubs. They have big powwows. They got just teepees. They got drummers. They got dancers. It's really powerful, and it's also an honor to have our culture interpreted and also carried on from across the big water. So I like these and our German relatives because they're all. I watched their videos on their MCs, and a couple times I heard MCs trying to mimic my famous one-liners, like "Let's rock this joint" or "It's Saturday Night Live" here on the Powwow Trail. So it's a great honor to have them wanting to be us and to imitate us. So I like teasing them on the World Wide Web. This is how we connect, through the internet, through Facebook, and through YouTube. So we're going to have the final song here. We'd like to invite everybody to come in and dance. If you haven't danced yet, this is an opportunity for you to make a strong circle. Everyone in this circle are all even. We're not higher than anyone else. There's no ranking. There's no high status. We're all equal in this circle because it's all healing. We're bringing the healing spirit into our hearts from these songs, and we're also bringing the healing to those that you think about that need that special push, that little good energy. So we're asking all of you to come in and dance the final song to Northern Cree, and you can have that honor going through in life that you've danced to Northern Cree, 9-time Grammy-nominated singing champion drum group with the most powerful esophaguses there is here on Mother Earth. Yeah, just really hyping and hamming them up. All right, final song. Come on in, everybody dance. And once again, 8 a.m. is the breakfast, 7 a.m. is the pipe ceremony. Want to come for that? And I'll see you all tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the grand entry start time. Hal Eagletail, final song, Northern Cree.
Dance!
Right, thank you, Northern Cree. Do you want to touch them? Do you want to touch them? Powerful energy emanating from their esophaguses. I want to say thank you to our Tsuut'ina for joining us in a dance there. They were just dancing because some of these Northern Cree guys aren't allowed to watch videos of cooking with Kaya. So they're here to make sure you guys don't go over the top watching Cooking with Kaya videos. So, we'll see you all tomorrow, 7 a.m. pipe ceremony, 8 a.m. breakfast, 9 a.m. grand entry. Good night.